When I went to Guyana, I never planned to ever come back. So I don't have any question that I would have died. I was never religious in my whole life. I wasn't that interested in pursuing why. All I knew is that, I had stuff to do in my life. And so I just pursued doing what I needed to do. In 1970, I was divorced from my husband. I came out to California to kind of calm down a little bit and figure out next steps in my life. When I moved into San Francisco, within 3 days, I went up to see Jim Jones in Redwood Valley. And so my life took a whole other direction. He had this totally interracial family. He was always at the front, the front lines of any kind of issues that had to do with racial integration and stopping prejudice. Everything that Jim stood for was really important to me. I just didn't know if I could live the lifestyle yet. And then pretty soon after that, I met a guy in the temple who was exactly what I was looking for. He was a former heroin addict. He had just gotten out of prison. He was like a bad boy, just exactly what I wanted. And I thought, well, this is great. It's everything I always wanted. And I have Jim to watch over it and kind of make sure it was safe. One of the things that you hardly ever see about Jim is that he was totally a thespian. He was an actor. And when he gave, at any meeting, he would be, totally political and totally religious. People would just pick the part that made sense to them. Because he followed politically where I was, I really felt that's where his heart was. He wanted to make people actually have what they needed on earth, have a heaven on earth. We started getting the reports in, the Guyanese Defense Force and on the radio saying, okay, well, they found 300 bodies. And so we were hoping that, the other, 700 people had escaped. And then it turned out that everybody had killed themselves. And what he told people is that we were in a developmental stage in Jonestown, and what he wanted people to do is make a commitment for 2 years. I think at that point I bought that. But looking back, I think that's total garbage. I think he had no intention of ever letting anybody leave. Those of us who survived have learned so much. One thing we learned is we'll never trust any one individual. We saw the best people we met in our lives live in Jonestown and make a community that was wonderful. I can't imagine wanting to leave it. I never believed in God, but if possible, after November 18th, I even believed less. I lived the life of somebody who exalts life. And so, in a way, that's my religion.